either they had a tear in the upper stomach, or they had a burst of the aorta, or there was a ripping in the stomach wall itself. Does that make sense? I know it, well, you gotta tell me. I don't guess, I don't do guessing. It's coming right to the section. I'm not saying this woman or this woman, it's right here.
Yes.
So all I'm asking for is a yes response. That's all I need. Otherwise, they're gonna take it like, well, they're not even listening. They're too busy doing texting or whatever they're doing. They'll just pull right out of here. I mean it sincerely. So with all respect, I'm sorry to bark, but I wanna make sure I get it to you. There's a lot here. Oh my God, listen to this. They're insisting on a ripping or a tearing. This is not just a generic garden variety heart attack like this. I don't mean to minimize heart attack, please forgive me, but there's like a tearing or a ripping in the stomach wall. And they keep telling me there was like a bleed or some kind of a pouring of blood out of the belly. Does that make sense? Or like a burst of the aorta, like this. They keep showing me the stomach.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not a physician, you guys know it perfectly.
yeah,
This is not someone who fell off a roller coaster ride.
Right.
They're telling me that they had a bursting of the stomach wall. I'm also gonna say something else to you too. Are you guys all one family?
Yes.
For this young woman across like the box?
Yes.
I don't think you guys are there, right? Okay, I'm just asking, just because you could be, I don't know. But they're telling me like this. They're also telling me about, listen, this is really involved. They're telling me that someone either went into the hospital and never came out, or they went in to have something fixed or repaired, and it didn't go well, and they wound up dying. Does that make sense? It surely does. So let's be clear, let's be clear. If you're going in with level 4 liver cancer, you're not expecting to come out. You're not expecting to come out. But if you go in for, let's say, a standard procedure which should occur normally under medical conditions, and 9 out of 10 people go in and come out with no problem, you kind of walk in with that. But not here. They're telling me they went in and something went wrong. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just being shown that. There's a male presence here too. I've got to talk about the male figure here, and I've got to say something to you also. In the family, respectfully, did someone work for a cemetery itself? Or did someone work for the funeral parlor? Or did you know the funeral parlor people personally?
Yes.
Let me be clear. I live in Merrick. There's a funeral parlor called Walker on Merrick Avenue. That's the name of it. I don't know the guy that owns it. People think because I do this work, I hang out in cemeteries or something. I don't know what they're thinking. Like I spend my lunch hour at a funeral parlor, hanging out with caskets or something. I don't know where they get that from. You know, I go to the subway like everybody else. I don't have cemetery people, funeral people in my family. Don't have them. Not here. Either they're in the family, or you have them as close friends, and they're telling me that they took very good care of the burial of the soul. I'm not talking about somebody who has a job in Los Angeles, and you happen to know who's a fourth cousin. I'm not talking about that. They're making me feel they went out of their way to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And this is going to sound a little crazy, but did they make this soul, was they were buried?
No. Yeah.
Interned? Or in the vault or something?
Yes.
Did they, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but did they pick like an extra wide vault? Or like have two side by side?
Yes.
That's it. Because I realize sometimes, respectfully, that people kind of forecast down the road and they want to make sure people are together. And so I'm not saying that it's not part of thinking that you may want to get an extra spot. But they're making me feel like a series of them. Almost like there's a couple of trays that might come out of that kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Who, you know the Veterans Poppy?
Yes.
You know the poppy that they sell for Veterans Day?
Yes.
It's like a little red flower.
Yes.
Someone put one at the casket?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm going to push it. I'll tell you why I'm asking. I know many men and women serve our country. I understand that. I do. But I'm being shown an American flag here, and they're telling me about the American flag. And I'm going to say something to you. It's not just the flag that goes on the flagpole outside your house on July 4th or in honor of our 9/11 heroes, or that kind of a deal, or on Memorial Day, folks. In my case, we happen to fly the flag year-round. It's just I'm very proud to do it. It's the way I was raised. My parents do it. I do it, and I'm proud of it. But that being stated, I'm being told, well, I don't mean to push my finger at you, but your father's standing right over here. Now, my father's alive. My dad's alive, and I'm definitely older than you.
Not much.
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's a day. I'm older than you. And my father's still around. So we don't have a flag from the veteran because he's still here. But respectfully, I'm being shown the flag. And I'm being told it's in like one of those display cases or something. And I'm being told if you go to the right of that flag, yeah, to the right of the flag, either that's his young military photo, or there was a black and white photograph of your father serving when he was a young man. Does that make sense? Now, I'll tell you why I say it. Because when my father came out of World War II, he married my mother. She was 19, he was 27. They're 8 years apart, or 26, whatever it was. And when they moved out of Brooklyn to the island, something got lost. My father's dog tags, all his military photos, everything gone. I have no reference to it. My parents eloped. We have no wedding photos of my mom and dad, nothing. Even though they married 67 years. And, you know, from the 25th anniversary out, we have it. I don't mean to give you a family thing here real quick, but the point I'm driving at is, I don't have what you have, and I wish I did, but we don't. So when they're telling me about it, they're trying to make me say, hey, you don't have it, but they do, and that's how they're telling me the story. Does that make sense? Now this is also a little bit crazy here. This is a little wild, this is an odd thing. Did someone have like a small appliance shop? Or did someone work with small appliances or fix like toasters, or have like a hobby of like fixing toasters, fixing irons, fixing rotisseries, all that kind of stuff? I'm going to push it. Who had the fire in the house? An electrical fire in the house? Or a fire in their home? Just don't go by time, just go by the event. Now, I'm not talking about a pot of something on the stove that overcooked and a little smoke. Did you have a major fire in your home? Did your home burn to the ground?
No.
But did you have a fire where the fire department had to show up?
Yes.
Okay, I just know it. I don't have that. I'm just letting you know. They're telling me, they talked one way where you said no, I said why. They're making me feel either the matches were left or something happened, and they're telling me part of the house could have been really damaged or it was damaged, and it was kind of a smoke. Listen to this part. The mail that goes into the hospital, the person with the aorta, how do they connect to you?
Not aorta.
Or
It's a stomach.
Stomach aorta. Forgive me, I'm not a physician.
Yeah.
They're not going to their head. They're telling me like there was but they can't tell me about the tear of the bleed, or a burst. There's a burst. And I tell you something. They keep telling me about the surgical procedure that doesn't go well. Now, do you have your mother's engagement ring?
I do.
You do. And how are you guys connected?
My sister-in-law.
Oh, I don't know. I'm being told about. I understand. I don't need to cut you off. I understand people get rings. I got it. But I'm being told about the engagement ring or the ring that one of you have connected to the family member. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Listen to this part. Who worked for the post office? Who was the postal worker? Or the delivery man, or FedEx or something? Or the railroad conductor? They're showing me a hat that's almost the same.
My grandfather.
A railroad conductor. I didn't say did he commute.
No,
We worked for the MTA, you worked for the subway or something.
He worked for the Erie Lackawanna.
But railroad guy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying that someone commute or ever just use the train. I didn't get Erie Lackawanna. I wish I did, but I didn't get Erie Lackawanna. But with all respect to your family, I have this grandfather soul coming in, and there's two other little boys here that I want to be sure. Unless I misunderstand this, the person with the abdominal bleed, how do they connect to you guys?
It's
My
brother.
husband
our father.
and their father.
This is your dad, is it not? I'm going to say something to you. With all respect, when your father crossed, either you guys missed his passing, or you were just there and left. Because he's telling me, I'm going to be quite clear with you, unless I misunderstand him, did one of you turn around, or the other one turn around, and then he crossed? Right. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying it to you. He's telling me someone kissed him on the face and told him it was okay to cross.
That was me.
Yeah. This is called permission to die. And he's telling me that everybody expected him to come out and come home, but it went bad. I'm sorry. With all respect, I'm sorry. And he says to me, and I'm going to be very clear, are you absolutely sure that you were standing over him like this and you watched him, all of you?
Yes.
You too? No way.
Not her.
No way. Not you and not you. No way. And he keeps insisting, not a blame, he's not criticizing, this is not criticism, don't misunderstand me. But he's insisting that I don't know about this, but he's insisting to me that he sent the souls away because they couldn't handle dying in front of him. And I gotta ask, is this your husband?
Yes.
I don't make the point, forgive my pointing.
No.
Did you lay down with him? Now, it's one thing to sit next to somebody and rub their shoulder, give them ice, wash their face, put the TV for them, turn the blinds, put the fan on, get the nurse, lower the lights. I got it. But I'm being told that he was embraced as death comes. I'm sorry. What's on the 17th?
The day he died.
You just said it. I'm on the 17th. You should know it's me. Completely at peace, and I'm not just saying it because you're grieving. Yesterday, I wanted to say that to a family, and I could not. I could not. There was too much stuff. Your father, her dad,
Yeah.
is with him. Brings him forward to me. This doesn't feel like it's 10 years ago either. This doesn't feel long ago. He's telling me like he's learning to talk even better and better and better. I'm going to make another statement. With all respect to you, was someone pregnant in the family either when your husband crossed or when your father crossed? I'm right.
That would have been you.
And you were probably pregnant with me.
Who was carrying the baby when your father died?
When my father died, maybe you.
No, Randy just had.
Okay, listen to me carefully, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Are you married, young fella? Okay, probably the smartest guy in this room. No, I'm only kidding, marriage is great, I'm only teasing, I'm only kidding. But I want to tell you something. He keeps calling out about, about the person who was of tummy, and they were about to have a baby, and he passes. Or it's through your father. Who's Randy?
Are you kidding me?
What's your name?
Randy.
He says you'll know it. You may forget it in the moment. I promise you it's true. He just called it out for me. And I'm going to ask you something very straight up. Are you the one that has your father's tools?
Yeah.
Do you use them?
No.
But you have them.
Yes.
I need you to do something with one of them. Even if you got to put a picture on the wall. I don't care what it is. He wants you to use his tools. And I'm going to say something else to you too. Who wrote the letter to your father after death? You again. Okay. With all respect to your grief, I'm sorry. But I know for people, they may write a letter and put it in the casket. I'm not referring to that. He's telling me like weeks later. Is this yourself? Do you write to your father still?
Sometimes.
Okay, I mean, I'm not just talking about a prayer or a walk at the beach. We all do reflections, I got it. But not everybody sits down and keeps writing to the people that have crossed. You understand? But you do you not? And last comment. Remember I talked about the waltz, this kind of a thing? Right? This kind of a thing? Were you guys just there? He said he just saw you. Were you there today?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he just witnessed it. With all I'm sorry for the loss of your dad. I sincerely mean it. He tells me it comes as a surprise for him, too. It wasn't like you were prepared for this. He says, I was kissed on the face and said, you don't need to suffer anymore. He lays in the arms of your mother and crosses. This is his soul. It is quite peaceful. At the end, I'll tell you more about this whole process. With that first greeting, I want to thank you for listening.
Thank you.